Steven Universe is one of those shows I do not play about. If you haven't noticed, my background is literally Steven Universe clouds that I edited purple, and I also have a picture of Garnet at the bottom with the cool dad jacket on because mood. I don't discuss my favorite things with just anybody. And that's probably why I rarely have commentary about fandoms, because I consume the things that I enjoy and move on about my day. My fandom gossip is talking about my favorite stuff with my closest friends and family, and I hate arguing, so I don't want to hear about how Yellow Diamond is a dictator and how Lapis and Jasper are teaching kids that it's okay to be in a dysfunctional relationship.
Blah, I don't care!
How do I even know that? Just because I don't engage doesn't mean people haven't tried engaging with me. And I don't even like Lapis, so why would I have commentary on her in the first place? At any time you feel like my points are outdated or something that I discuss has been discussed years ago, I really just be ignorant to the chatter for real. Y'all teach me new stuff about the Avatar: The Last Airbender fandom every day. I said all that to say, Steven Universe resonated with me in a way that I never expected a cartoon to do. So my criteria for enjoyment will always be personal. And every time I watch this specific episode, I can't help but cry. What's good, guys? It's Alissa. If you're new here, hello. My introduction to Steven Universe was the episode where Steven found that tape in Lion's Mane. I was having a sleepover with some friends in high school, and at my house, we'd have Cartoon Network running in the background on the living room TV. I remember there was an episode playing that made me and my friends stop in our tracks and tap in. That episode was Lion 3 Straight to Video. It was oddly the perfect introduction to the show for me. And honestly, if I were to recommend the show to anyone, it's the perfect out of context episode. This episode gives you lots of context on the world of this show. In this episode, our main character Steven Universe finds a VHS tape in the mane of his magic lion. Steven is a boy who has magic gem powers from his mom. He's cared for by a group of extraterrestrial beings called the Crystal Gems. This is because Steven's mom, Rose Quartz, who was also the leader of the Crystal Gems, gave up her physical being to have him. Rose Quartz lived many lives, and since she's no longer with us, Steven never got the chance to get to know her himself. He only hears about her through stories from the Gems or his dad. But in this episode, Steven discovers a videotape from his mom to him.
Steven, we can't both exist. I'm going to become half of you. And I need you to know that every moment you love being yourself. That's me, loving you and loving being you.
It's a very touching episode, but I didn't end up watching the show from the beginning until way later. Pretty sure it was around the end of season 2 and the start of season 3 when I started suffering with the rest of you guys with that airing schedule. A lot was going on in my life during that time, and there was a point where I really became a hermit and decided to catch up on a lot of shows and movies that I was putting off. If I had a letterbox at that time, it would have been booming. I had my little projector in my room and I was feeling too cool watching Steven Universe on it. I'm pretty sure Steven Universe lovers all have that one episode that they claim, and for me, that's the season 1 finale, Jailbreak. The start of the show was literally fun and games, and little did I know the introduction of Peridot was going to make all hell break loose. Peridot is a gem from Homeworld, which is the Crystal Gems' home world. The gems have centuries-old beef that Peridot decided to get reinforcements to solve, which brings us to the season 1 episode, The Return. We really see how deep this beef is between the Crystal Gems and the Homeworld Gems in this episode. There's so much history that Steven doesn't know about in regards to the Crystal Gems and his mom. The Crystal Gems try to protect him from the truths of the past, but Steven is a very strong-willed kid and usually gets to those truths on his own throughout the series. I still remember that feeling from the first time watching Garnet get destabilized. Terrifying. We pick up right where we left off from Garnet's gems going kerplunk, bringing us to the season finale, Jailbreak. This is our first time meeting Sapphire and Ruby, and they quickly became one of my favorite duos. I'm just as excited as Steven anytime we get an episode with them. Steven sees Ruby in her cell losing her mind because she needs to find Sapphire. So Steven, being the embodiment of a helping hand, frees her so she can start searching. And when he let her out, she didn't even hesitate to get to looking. Ruby is a real one. Get you somebody like Ruby. Watching this episode in a home where I wasn't comfortable to be out, I couldn't really explain why this episode meant so much to me. Just seeing how happy Ruby was to see Sapphire warms my hopeless romantic heart to a degree that could start a fire. Then their bond is so natural and powerful that they slowly and effortlessly just fuse into Garnet. Just seeing how happy isn't a strong enough word. When Ruby and Sapphire fuse into Garnet, there's pure joy in her smile and confidence in her demeanor. Seeing that for the first time alone in my room, in a home where homophobic microaggressions were spewed, not towards me, but the way I would freeze, thinking to myself, is that how they'd speak of me if they knew who I really was transformative. The confidence, the missing piece. Yes, I loved seeing two female presenting gems kiss and be romantic on screen. But to know that those two gems create such a strong bad bitch of a gem like Garnet did it for me. Every day, Garnet gets to live and know that what makes her her is a combination of two female gems who love each other so deeply they prefer to be together. I aspired. I wanted to love all that was me so much that I give Garnet energy anytime anyone sees me. I want anyone who speaks to me to feel and know that I love every part of myself. No hiding, no secrets. So anytime I rewatch that one scene from this episode, yeah, I cry. Then on the flip side, sure, we have Lapis and Jasper.
Yikes. They are really bad for each other.
But I never viewed this as bad representation. As a whole, I like how everyone can take a piece from each character in the show. And although I may not personally resonate with the Malachite fusion, there's a reason why that's a plot point in the show. It's real. That dynamic draws inspiration from somewhere. And as much as I would like to believe that the only thing me and Pearl have in common is a big ass forehead, I'm probably the most like Pearl on paper, down to her perfectionism. My coming out story was very anticlimactic. I was on a group call with my parents and my sisters, which I'm sure was our first group call like that. And by this time I was 21, already moved out into my own place and able to be free. My sisters have always known about my sexuality because I previously thought I was a lesbian and was romantically involved with girls until I was 20 years old. So I felt safe having them in that moment with me to say my truths to my parents, finally. Mom, Dad, I like girls. Okay, we already knew that. Womp. Okay, so y'all already knew, but y'all are okay with being homophobic around me? I didn't actually say that because I already put myself through enough just telling them I was gay. Then some time later, when I told my dad about the first boy I was dating, he said, "Didn't you just tell us you like girls?" At that point, it was a lost cause. I was not about to get into spectrum talk with his ass. As a love connoisseur, I truly envision love feeling exactly how Garnet's fusion is. And the lyrics of Stronger Than You is such a nan boo boo to Jasper that it just puts the icing on the cake for me. And no finale has topped season 1's, in my opinion. Completely biased. I put myself through enough emotional turmoil to make this video, but I thought it was a very important one to make for the month of June, so happy Pride, and no matter what anybody says, Steven Universe is one of the most important shows of our generation, period. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you would like to keep up with me outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. All that information along with any music I use in my videos are in the description box down below. But if you made it to the end, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell to stay up to date with posts and uploads from me. But for now, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace!